experience. Moms talk about things that affect moms in general. The mommy entrepreneurs, we are the moms that handle business, and that means a lot. Remember, Entrepremommies.
Hello. Welcome to the Entrepremommies show.
Hello. How you doing?
Good. How are you, prize party people? Welcome back to the Entrepremommies show once again. Y'all thought we were gone. Now we coming back.
That's right. I think third week in a row. We are on a what is it? Oh goodness. I have a lot going on. We are on I can't think of the word. I gotta drink my green tea or something.
Like a resurgence.
Yeah, we're on a roll. We're on a roll. Yes.
Yeah, man, let me tell you, them senior moments be getting you, don't it?
I'm a pre-senior.
Right? It's the stress of being a mom every day. Like I remember when I was younger, my grandmom used to run through all her kids' name, all her grandkids' name before she got to you, because she was just so flustered, and that's just what that made me remind me of.
Right. Well, now, like with the twins, now I'm like, which one are you? Just identify yourself. So.
No. They probably been lying for years.
Yeah. If they could, they would try to trick me.
I love how they're friends.
Yeah.
Oh, well, today's topic is, can YouTube make you a celebrity overnight?
Yes.
So why did we pick this topic? Well, apparently that's what the algorithm thinks that we want to see.
Right. Yeah, it's all over our page, like all these videos that we're getting where people are like, "Oh, grow your subscribers, grow your views, make money on YouTube." It seems to be the hot topic.
Oh yeah. Definitely. Yeah. It's I think, well, obviously, because for the whole situation with DoorDash and all that crazy stuff, my algorithm is like showing me more stuff, and like literally anything that has her name. Like even now, I will say there are people that actually give a good strategy.
Yes.
On but they're smart. They're using her as an example, and they'll say, okay, this is what she does. That's good. This is what she does. Not so good. You know,
I'm amazed at how many testimonials she gets, though. I mean, she gets a lot of coverage from people that have purchased her product and people that have good or bad. She gets a lot of attention. So she must be doing something right.
Yeah. Well, I was watching someone talk about her, and they were like, she's the movement that is literally just doing it on their phone, no editing, no nothing. And which is pretty much, what she does. No editing, just apparently whatever comes in her head, that's kind of what she says, I did notice that after we had our conversation and we talked about her product, that she switched around how she talked about the product. Yeah. So whether or not it's because of us or whatever, I'm glad that she thought that one through.
Yeah, I think so too. Maybe we contributed to something good.
Yeah.
Regarding that situation. So, and then tonight we're going to contribute something good. We're going to talk about what you should do and what you shouldn't do. And before I just want to address any haters or anybody who might see this and see that, we have 91 subscribers on our YouTube page.
Actually, girl, I think it's 92, girl.
Oh,
92.
92. Excuse me.
I just
Excuse me.
checked.
We've
It
got
said 90.
92.
I don't know. It
Yeah.
keeps tickering,
It
whatever.
keeps flickering. Yes, we have 92. We would like you to consider that we have not been on in like 2 to 3 years, consistently 4 years. And, but doesn't mean we don't have good ideas or have a way to find good ideas. So,
And this is not our only channel.
and it's not our only channel. That's right. That's right.
Yes.
That's true.
So that's the other thing. A lot of people think, oh, because I don't see you, doesn't mean that I don't have a channel. Honestly, the no face channel probably makes way more money than anything else.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So yeah. So, and then the other thing too is, if one thing we wanted to propose is doing like a 30-day challenge where we grow our YouTube page, and you can watch what we do to grow our page from our 92 and our views, and even get our page monetized, because we're not monetized. So, you can grow with us.
For the love.
Yes, that's right. We're doing this for the love. That's right. So I realize I'm not logged in the streamer. I'm gonna log in and see, because I can't write anything in the chat. So hold on.
Oh. Well, hey guys, she is coming back in. I do see a note here. Hello, no customers, no business. I don't want to be a celebrity overnight, because it's a lot I have to learn, i.e. having tough skin against the trolls and haters. Whoa. When it comes to that, that's the one thing that actually kind of kept me many, many, many years ago from actually doing a channel. It took me a long time before I did one, because I was so concerned about, okay, my hair has to be right. My makeup has to be right. I have to have a good background. I have to spend a lot of money. So that was one of the things that kept me from joining the YouTube creator movement for a long time. However, I just got to an age where I didn't care. And my first videos were me talking in my car like everybody else. So I thought no customers, no business had a interesting comment.
Oh, okay. See, I don't want to be a celebrity because it's a lot to learn. It is. Having a tough skin against the trolls and haters. Yeah, it's rough. Even when we just started in this last 3 weeks, I mean, we've had some negative comments, and they're just out there. But I figure most people, they don't really know me, and they don't know me in real life or anything. And then there's just some people that just really enjoy being negative, and it's their fun. So my approach is to kind of toy with them and, try to turn a negative into a positive. I find it funny sometimes because, they don't know you. So,
what's really funny is, I don't know where I heard it from, but there's a saying, just let a hater do their job. Let them hate on you. They want to hate on what you wear, hate on it. They want to hate on what you look, hate on it. Because the more hate that they have, that's more of the time that you are taking up, more of the space, really, that you're taking up in their mind. So that's what you really want to do. You really take the time out of your day to talk smack because I didn't put a part in my hair to the left or the right. Okay. It's causing you more issues than it really is for me.
Right. Yeah. And some people are just so critical. There's nothing that you could do, show up as, look like, say, that would make certain people happy anyway. They're just unhappy people. But if they watch, hey, I count that as a view. Thank you. Even
exactly.
if you turn me off.
Right. Well, I remember it's about a few years ago, back when I was like really heavy with like my Resale Queen page. One of the fellow YouTubers, she kind of stopped for a while because she made and I felt she made really good YouTubes. Like, she was stuff that people put in like a masterclass. She was showing you in a video.
Yeah.
So I felt that she was doing so much and someone wrote a nasty comment. They're like, if you're making so much money, why is your couch old? I'll never forget that. This is like 5-6 years old. And I looked at that and it kind of hit her. She was like, are you serious? And I forget how old she was, but she's a little bit older than us. And she was actually from from that area, but she ended up moving. Actually, she was at a point where I think she was like retired. So, you know, this is that extra money when you hit retirement. You know what I'm saying? And I'm sitting there like, these people have no idea. She has a couch. Maybe she doesn't think it's necessary to buy a new one.
Right.
Maybe she got it secondhand. Maybe it has sentimental value. That was just, I'll never forget that I saw someone made a comment like that. And I'm like, this woman is giving out free information on a YouTube video. Like she was giving out way more info than I ever did. Because there was I'd never had a like a course, but what I did do during that time period was I did coaching.
Yeah, I remember that.
So, and I had a nice few clients. I had some people that listened, some people that didn't. And because I had a rule by session 6, if you haven't done what I told you to do, we're done.
Right.
Because I'm wasting my time and your money.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, and it's funny, years later, I had one of my students that I had to kind of let go reach out to me. And it was funny. She wrote me, she said, I'm just now looking at these videos because I used to record our sessions and let you have a copy of it. And she was like, I realized I was not ready for the information you were giving me, but I'm ready now. And I was like, sorry to tell you, chick, I don't even do that no more.
Right. You missed your opportunity.
Exactly. So interesting.
Yes. Yep. And then no customers, no business said hater keeps you motivated to do more, in my opinion. I would agree. Because sometimes, you know, you're not in a vacuum. So sometimes what somebody brings to light, even if it's negative, it does make you think and reevaluate and say, you know, maybe I could do this differently, or, you know, maybe I could present this differently. But, you know, trying not to take it personal, because we all have our individual gifts and we show up how we show up. So, you know, anything, especially like a couch, you know, it's funny. I read a book called The Millionaire Next Door a couple of years ago, and it's talking about the habits of people who are rich. And honestly, rich people don't buy new furniture. Like, they buy classics, they buy investment pieces, they keep things, they buy good furniture, and then they keep it over years and years and years. So, you know, she didn't even know. She could have been looking at something that was an antique that could have been worth, you know, a couple $1,000s compared to what you could get at like, what's that place? Big Lots or something, you know what I mean? Or like, you know, like, so people's, it also kind of shows you where people's mindset is. You know, that's a poverty mentality to be looking at somebody's couch and not listening to the information that they're giving. So yeah, I would agree with that. It keeps you motivated.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. That was that thing. My haters are my motivators.
Yep. Yeah. Haters keep you relevant. Yep.
Exactly. You know,
yeah.
I'm a Black
That's
woman.
why I try not to give too much attention to DoorDash, because I don't want to be a hater of hers. You know?
Well, for me, I kind of wished I could just kind of take her and first give her a hug.
Yeah.
And I really mean that sincerely. Like, actually, like, give her a hug, because I don't know 100% what her life has been like. I just only know whatever is or has, I apologize for that, is or has gone through that I see.
Right.
When I look at some of the videos, I see the hurt and the pain.
Yeah.
All this, yay, that's fake.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, there's something behind that, you know, that in my opinion, really needs to be looked at, you know, to get to a different level. You know, why do you start things and then finish them? Like something, you know, you were on to something real good here.
Yeah, she's got
Real
good
good.
ideas. I mean, she has some really good ideas, even with
Exactly.
the where she knows where the trends are, even with Curl Smiler moving into DoorDash, and even the genius of playing off of DoorDash, which is very popular. So,
Exactly.
and I figured maybe what 5-10 years, maybe we'll see her evolve into something really wonderful, and
And
that would be nice to see.
that would be very nice to see. Very,
Yeah.
very nice to see. But it
So
seems like, Nikki, you really have checked into what a person can do to be successful on YouTube.
I did some research, and well, my first point that I wanted to express, because it's how I did my research, is Chat GPT is your friend. So anything that you don't know or that you don't have an ideal about, this is kind of like the overarching theme for me with this YouTube stuff is ChatGPT will give you an answer. And I mean, I took a course on AI and the development of large language systems. And one thing that you got to know about ChatGPT, which you should be kind of confident with the information you get from it, is that it takes an aggregate of pretty much everything that's ever been published, everything on the internet, everything, people's blogs, people's testimonies, videos. It takes the aggregate of that, and that's how it gives you the information. So when you give it like a pretty easy question like, how can I grow my views on YouTube? It can give you an outline. It can give you ideas. It can write posts for you. It can give you suggestions on niche. I mean, you can put down your interest and it can create a niche. It can rewrite things. Like it can give you names of what to call your channel. I mean, it's amazing. And you can ask for a number of different things on ChatGPT and get really good information. So that's like the overarching thing is ChatGPT is your friend, and I certainly used it. So just being 100% transparent.
I probably use it every day.
Mm-hmm.
I probably use every day. There's especially at my job. One of
Yeah.
the things that I work on is I write a blog post
Mm-hmm.
for what I do. It's not every day, but I will go right to the AI function
Mm-hmm.
that is attached to the website browser and say, I need a blog post for this subject matter. And I have learned that if I give it more information, it tunes in way better. So like I
Mm-hmm.
may say I need something for fraud, uh, that's on a 7th grade reading level.
Mm-hmm.
And I will say the subject matter, and I will say put it into like a voice of a banker talking to a customer or something like that.
Okay.
I will take that. It brings probably 2 pages worth in this like that.
Mm-hmm.
Now, do I take that verbatim and put on? No, I do not.
Right.
Now, but what it does, especially for me, it helps me to see a place to start at.
Yes. Yeah.
So I've used that. Know what else it's great for? A whole nother subject. If you've ever been on Excel, and I'm telling you, it saved my life one time. I was
Yeah.
working on a report for work,
Mm-hmm.
and not many people that I work with actually have knowledge of like Excel formulas.
Yeah.
So I was doing like an advanced formula of like, I needed you to look at like 5 different things and then come up with this answer. And I was like, why is this not working? I know how to write these. So
Mm-hmm.
I put the formula that I was using in the AI function and it fixed it for me.
Don't you love it?
I, I was mad at myself because I was like cussing for 20 minutes when I didn't need to.
Right. Went to ChatGPT
So,
first. Yeah.
it's so using it for marketing and using it to give you ideas. I mean, really, it's like there's even like websites. I remember this is a few years ago that would like help you with your YouTube account. Like they'll show you what,
Mm-hmm.
give you some insights. They had AI enhanced tools on those websites to help you with generating titles.
Yes. Yep.
Of videos and things like that. So really, but because a couple years ago, you had to kind of like pay for that.
Yeah.
Now you can just go right on here and say, I am making I need ideas for a YouTube video for outdoor adventure.
Yeah.
Okay. It's going to give you a whole list of ideas. You can pick one and go, oh, that sounds good. So now you got that. And you're like, I need a catchy title.
Yes.
For a YouTube video that talks about XYZ. Now you got the title.
Yeah. And it even does graphics. Like I had it generate on our community posts. I gave it a description. It generated a graphic, which I thought kind of what, in tandem with what the post was. Now I have the free version, so it limits how many graphics you can ask for in a day, but it'll do graphics. It'll do infographics. It will do all charts, and it'll do some spreadsheets. Like if you put in data, it will put it in there. It'll do graphs. So it's a tool, and I think people get afraid of it because it gets negatively looked at, like, oh, they're going to take our jobs, and it's like, no, what it's going to do is going to enhance your job. It's going to make you a better person because it's still your ideas at the end of the day. At the end of the day, you're asking for what other people are kind of thinking about your idea, and it's giving you an aggregate answer of that and how to do that. And a lot of these things, we talked about in past shows about free information. It pulls from that too. So it's pulling from things that we don't have access to, that's available in the vast amount of the web space that, you might have to search for, hours and hours. It's pulling it within minutes, and then it's giving you an output. So,
Exactly.
you kind of have to like think of it as a friend and not as a foe and not as a threat to you.
Exactly. So. And we're not talking about writing a doctoral thesis here.
No.
Using chat. We're not talking about that. Although it could pull from those.
It could. It could start to help you organize your information for something like that. Yeah. And, and also like as humans, we're flawed and sometimes in how we think. Sometimes I'll put in an idea and say, I'm trying to, sort out this thought process. What am I missing? And it'll tell me. And I'm like, yeah, that's right. I'll put in parts of words and be like, I'm trying to think of a word that I know it, but I'm 47 years old and it's back when I was 27. Like I know the word, I can't recall it. Well, ChatGPT can help me recall it. Does that mean that I didn't have the internal knowledge? No, it just means I forgot and I don't have a mind of a computer. So, but that's what I use to come up with some of these ideas. And, I think like the first thing, the first thing that I had alluded to in the post that on our community post was drama and the rise of people using drama as content and people using drama to increase views. So, what are some of your thoughts on that?
It's funny with the way the news cycle works. And I'm saying news cycle really means social media news cycle. The drama is what gets the most response. If you even look at like someone like the Shade Room, they can put something positive on a post, like a very positive post. It's probably not going to get shared or even liked as many times as so-and-so had their butt out at the club or something, or so-and-so cheating.
Right.
Because I know them so-and-so cheating posts.
Oh, they rack up. Especially when they have photo evidence and they done caught somebody outside the hotel room or,
yes. All these people
why is he with her? Why? Yes.
It could be someone that literally just walked right past the person. Oh, they together. They're gonna snap that picture, send it to Shade Room. Now they gotta the celebrity has to come out with a statement.
Yeah.
It's funny because a lot of that's even like I think of like the drama sometimes is also like gossip. Like
Yes.
those particular channels do pretty well. And they can normally get views and get a lot more people to subscribe.
Yeah.
Because the thing about that is too, it's all about your delivery.
Yeah.
You could sit there and be monotone and be like, today, so-and-so did this. Kim Kardashian did this. Nah, that's not how you do it. Wendy Williams showed us all how it's done. Okay. All you have to do is
very true.
all you have to do is follow what Wendy did. Okay.
Yeah.
It's evident there's quite a few YouTube channels that figured it out. My girl Tasha K. She's figured it out. She's also giving platforms to other people that are in the same space. She's figured out, okay, the more, I hate to say salacious, the more views. I mean, that's kind of how she got in trouble with the whole Cardi B thing, because not to rehash her case, but this all started because she had a guest that was once a stripper that worked with Cardi B. And I think if I remember the girl's story right, they maybe worked a weekend or two together. So it wasn't like they, you know what I mean? So I think because apparently strippers can travel. I didn't know this. I don't got stripper body, so I didn't know that. But apparently strippers travel. And this particular person, wherever they were working at, they worked together somewhere. And all the person did was say something about there was that she had a cold sore.
Yeah,
how to take care of it.
Right.
That's all the woman said. And she didn't even say it salaciously. She was just like, she was like, I thought we were kind of cool. She was like, she had a cold sore. I showed her how to fix it, so that she can, work tonight. I showed her I covered up with makeup, blah, blah, blah. Tasha K took that and turned it into gold.
Turn it into gold.
To the point that girl, I think she was on the lawsuit, but more than likely the attorneys were like, we can't get her.
I don't think she has had any money or had anything that they could, attach or go after. So they went after the big fish.
Exactly. Well, because that's the biggest thing that it started all this was apparently there was something, and I don't really follow all these people. I only know what I see on the Shade Room.
Yeah.
But apparently Cardi B said something in reference to Black people. And this girl was on like an Instagram live talking to friends and saying, I can't believe she would say that, blah, 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 and that's how Tasha K found her.
Right.
And so and not only that, she was on other people's channels, YouTube channels. And I don't know if she said the same thing, but that's who they decided to sue.
Right.
Was because of that. But the reason why I talked about that is because even with all of that negative press, people are still watching her.
Yes.
She is still getting views.
Yeah.
She is still making money beyond YouTube. She went on a whole comedy tour.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. And you might say that this lawsuit actually was the jumping off point for her to expand her business.
Exactly.
So in
she
some ways,
like a mug.
It worked. Treating that drama, she took a risk. She took an extreme risk that it could have went south. But she's always struck me as a very astute businesswoman. So, and I think she's the type of person that if she doesn't, and this is just from me watching some of her shows over the years, if she doesn't know something, she gets experts, she gets people that know. And I think she had I think her husband is very wise, and she got lawyers, she got advisors, people to kind of help her pivot out of this situation. So it could have ruined her. It really could have ruined her. And I often wonder if she's not doing better now than she was prior, because she's expanded so much. Just like you said, the comedy tour, the app, all these things which have the potential to bring her more money than just having that one show on YouTube did. So
Exactly. And
yeah.
I've been secretly hoping that her and this other lady, her name is Sarah Fraser. And
Okay, I've seen her. Yeah.
so I tend to watch her from time to time because she taught, well, one, she used to be in my area on like Fox 5.
Oh,
And
okay.
then she moved. So she's not, so I used to see her on TV.
So
and she was
she's a
like an entertainer.
journalist.
Huh?
Oh, okay. She's a
Yes, I used to
journalist.
see,
Okay.
yeah, she was. Yeah. So she obviously must have went to school for it and everything. So she used to be
Mhm.
on TV like during the morning show or something like that. And then she moved. Her and Tasha K one year did a year in the review video together. They made it, they did it live.
Yeah.
The way those two bounced back and forth was perfect. And what was
Yeah.
perfect about it was the Sarah chick, she did the white people gossip. Tasha
Right.
K did the black people gossip. And it worked out perfect. And I was like, I'm looking, I'm like, oh, E is going to take this.
Yeah.
This looks perfect. You got to throw a man in there. And you know what I mean? That, or you may not. For real, for real. I was like, this looks completely perfect. And
well, that
I
kind
didn't
of
know if they could
transitions into like the second thing is collaboration. So you can have drama, and then you can also use collaboration with other content creators to grow your YouTube. So now, why do you think she doesn't do more of it? Because I remember, I think I saw one episode that because they did more than one, didn't they?
Yeah, they've done it. They've done a couple together. Like whenever there's like a subject matter where that kind of spills into each other's world, they'll both come together and say, okay, you know more about this because this is your thing. And they'll just, and the thing about Tasha is she's the same regardless of what platform or what interview she's on. She is 100% the same of what you get on that YouTube video. You're going to get the same chick at in another video. So and then the Sarah girl, she's kind of transitioned just a little bit more to just be more of reality shows, or that could just be what the algorithm is
I watch
showing.
her because she does Sister Wives content.
Same here.
I'm ashamed to say I watch Sister Wives.
Well, sometimes, girl, we could do a Sister Wives after show.
Oh, girl, let's do it. Because I love some Sister Wives. I don't know. It's like a train wreck. I can't get enough of it.
Girl, I think we might be on to something. Okay.
Something because oh my goodness, that Cody makes me angry. Well, this brings up number 3, an emotional reaction, right? People who can generate an emotional reaction, you can grow your YouTube channel with that. And boy, does that Cody Brown make me angry.
Girl,
he makes me so angry. I can't stand it.
Before we came on, I saw the trailer for the next part of the season.
Yes.
This man don't want to sell Coyote Pass.
Don't want to sell. He just want to hold on to his ex-wife's money. Just hold on to it like he earned it.
Yeah. Oh, no. Robin been in the family for like what, 10, 15 years? She ain't had one piece of a job.
I can't stand Robin either. I can't stand her.
I knew what she was doing because and the fact that cracks me up, he's like, I have a hot wife that's a diesel model. Really?
Yeah. Really? Yes.
I mean, beauty is in the eye of the beholder, but I'm sorry, this woman wasn't worth missing. Yeah. And one would think, and maybe this is because I didn't mean to go off on this tangent, but as a mother, considering what happened with one of his children, that he would, and I know that the season that we're seeing was before that event, but considering what happened with one of his children, you would think that he would be on a mission to make sure that the way he looks on TV is opposite of what we see.
Yes, like he would go to improving it, but he's not, because I think he's ego driven and he thinks that he's right. And I think even regarding what happened to his child, he still thinks he's right. Like he still thinks his perspective is right. I don't think he takes any type of blame or responsibility into that situation whatsoever. So, but yeah, emotional reactions. He definitely creates one. But if you can do that in your YouTube channel, then you'll get views. You'll get, if you can, and if you think about it, like some of the best YouTubers are people who throw out these wild claims, these wild ideas, just to get people to say, are you out of your mind? Well, why did you even say that? And that is a way to generate engagement and to increase views and followers, because people like a polarizing figure. I mean, look at our new president-elect. People like a polarizing figure. They like somebody, even how ridiculous they might be, that stands on their own ridiculousness. So,
well, it's funny you say that. As you know, who comes to mind when you say that? Candace Owens.
Oh, yes, Candace.
Now,
yes.
I will say this. A broken clock is right twice a day.
Right.
There are times that things she say, I'm like, yeah, you got a point. But in my opinion, it's her delivery. And I think that is done on purpose.
Yes. But you know what? I love her, though. I love the way that she stands on her principles. I mean, sometimes she can be out there, but she will not let people talk down to her. I mean, I like her. I like her. I like her. She does say some crazy stuff. She does. But I think that's why people like her.
Yeah, well, like the one, I don't know if she's still saying this, because I think this is a little outrageous and I think it's going a little too far. But like, she's been talking about the First Lady of France, saying that she's not really a woman. That. Like, and it's not just like once or twice. And I'm like, okay, I think you're going a little too far, because if that is the case, that ain't none of my business.
Well, yeah, it does kind of bridge the line, or I think when you call out people like that, I don't think you're right. It's none of our business. If her husband is happy with what he has, like that's their business. I don't want to. I mean, I like to know conspiracy. I like to know people's secrets. Like, I like to know it, but I feel like it was almost abusive a little bit. So to the individual, because they've taken some great lengths to hide this. So it's true,
it's a lot of lengths to do, because I don't know if she said it, and because I don't want to make her the author. And I think it's more Fox News.
Yeah, I think she watched a documentary that was done by somebody in that country. She got a hold of the documentary, and she got interested in it from there. So she didn't originate the claim, but she ran with it.
But you know what? Just because someone made a documentary, don't make it true.
That's very true. Yeah.
I mean, because if you think about
all got cameras.
Exactly, because you can make a documentary and swing it one way. And because if you look at like I think about like What the Health, that was one of those documentaries where people were like, I need meat no more.
Yeah.
you know what I mean? And but it was, in my opinion, it turned into something like that would scare you, because I remember one of the questions to one of the panelists on the thing, and they were like, well, what do you eat? And they're like, well, that's a hard question. Well, tell me, what am I supposed to eat then? If you're telling me that everything is bad for me, what am I supposed to have? Because Lord knows, that's what I was going to say. I sure can't eat air. That's not free. I mean, that's free, but I mean, I can't eat air. So what am I supposed to have? And don't get me wrong, I understand like the treatment of the animals. Like, as you know, I'm not one of these save the whales type of people. However, considering that it's something I may be ingesting, I don't want it done in a bad way, because I do have my own special beliefs about spirituality. And, if I'm consuming something that had cruelty done to it, now I'm swallowing it.
Right.
And I know that might be a little too out there spacey for some people, but when you start thinking about that, you're like, wait a minute, what did this animal go through to feed me?
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
And I'm ingesting
Well, even the documentary Super Size Me, remember that one where the guy ate McDonald's for like 30 days? Come to find out, he was an alcoholic, and most of his conditions were actually as a result of the alcoholism, not the fact that he ate McDonald's for 30 days. So he totally misrepresented himself. And I think he died recently. So, you know, God bless the dead. But, you know, but that came out before he died, that he was like a raging alcoholic, and a lot of the conditions that he was diagnosed with after the 30 days were things that he was already dealing with because of the alcoholism. So, but how many people gave up McDonald's? I mean, not that McDonald's isn't a bad thing to give up. I mean, you know, but how many people, based off of what they saw in that documentary, was like, oh my gosh, like I can't do this, you know? So you're right. Anybody can create a documentary and put a certain spin on things and present information. And I think that's kind of like an ethical consideration that as a content creator, you have to take into consideration. Like if you want to be polarizing, if you want to cause drama to get views, then ethically, you know, what is your responsibility to be honest to your audience? You know, because we form parasocial relationships with our audience and with our content creators. And by parasocial, that means that they become part of our families. They become part of our friend group. Like I think, and this is what a parasocial relationship is, but I feel like if I saw Tasha K on the street, I might want to be like, hey girl, like what's you know, but she doesn't know me. She could be like, get away from me, woman. But because of the relationship I feel like we build through the screen, because she's such a like Wendy is a friend in my head, you know.
Yeah, she's so
I feel like she's my friend.
Yeah,
she's accessible, right?
She's so accessible.
So what responsibility does she have to me to be honest about what she presents as content? You know, so that's something to think about. And even as you're creating content, as we're creating content, you know, I think you and I have a high level of integrity. We want to give our audience some good information. We don't want to waste their time. You know what I mean? Exactly. We want to present our perspective and be honest about, you know, our successes, our failures, and whatnot. And that's just, I mean, because that's just how we're built. But there's some people on there, and you can see them, you know, that will, you know, redo a story, misrepresent facts, omit facts, not present everything.
People lied on us.
People lied on us. That's so true. Yes. Yep.
People lied on. I can't. First of all, okay. Sidebar. I'm not real happy that people were able to take a 4-year-old video and get super chats and all this AdSense money with our video in it. I know there's a law against it, but there's a law for it, whatever. And we're not going to go after people for copyright or anything like that. But my thing is, if you want to tell my story, tell it right.
Yeah. Yep. Present it right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or at least drop a note. It's like drop a note. Exactly. Hey, I'm going to be using this part of your video, you know.
Well, what's really
would you like to comment 4 years later?
Exactly. If it wasn't for a comment, right? So a person made a comment like, "Oh, I'm here on one of our videos because of this person."
Yes.
And I'm like, "Who the hell is this person?" So I went and looked it up. I said, "Oh my God, they're using our video." And then I saw there were shorts that had our video in it. Then there were other people that were going live, getting good old super chats, showing our video. But what was really funny is some people didn't say what really happened. They were saying, "Oh, these 2 girls bought from her. I ain't buy jack."
Right. That's right. Okay. That's right. Yeah.
I knew she wasn't going to get my money.
Section, and they took it out of context. Because we were certainly not trying to expose her at the time. We were critiquing at, and
Exactly.
a lot of the videos that I saw where our video was used in, it was like, my concern was, and not, like I said, nobody knows me. I don't know her either. But my concern is I didn't want any retaliation from her towards us, thinking that, even though I think she saw the video 4 years ago anyway.
I agree. I believe she probably did.
But,
I had that sense that she probably did. Well, you can tell because we were probably the most watched video in reference to the downfall of that hair product. I did notice there were other people that said certain things, but like we actually did a video on it. Like there was a lot going on 4 years ago. But the reason why we did the video was because we used that as an example of, okay, you had a bad situation in your business. Now it's time to pivot. Now it's recognize what your issue is. Because this really does happen when it comes to businesses. You can, like, I had a great what I consider was a great business. And then guess what happened? The pandemic. I was on a roll. I had a handbag website that I was selling handbags and purses and wallets on. Well, pandemic came. Ain't nobody buying no purses. They ain't going nowhere.
Right.
And I was moving product, and then literally nothing.
Right.
So I had to pivot. And start putting that mess on Etsy and eBay. Okay. Because I on purpose was solely making that for the handbags, I had to pivot, because well, we were going through a pandemic. That was, an example of something that went wrong in my business that I wasn't expecting. I wasn't expecting a pandemic to happen. I was getting these good old cheap purses, okay, that were made very well, that I actually got, I didn't even have to pay for them.
Right.
I was getting 30 days lead time from receiving my shipments.
Oh, okay.
Before I had to pay for them.
Yeah.
Which is really nice. So, I mean, and it actually did put me in a little bit of a bind at one point because I was doing really good, and then I got a larger shipment, and here comes that 30 days, and I didn't have all the money. So I did end up paying them late. Honestly, they ended up, I don't even know what they're doing. That the website that I was getting everything from, they've kind of shut down. I'm sure they're, maybe doing something else because I am probably not the only person that couldn't pay them.
Right.
Now I paid them. And I'm talking about like maybe 2 months later, which I don't like to do, which not even something I would fathom to do. I just, I paid them, but how many businesses didn't?
Right. But even like with you telling your story, right, as a matter of content, people can identify with that. Right. See, I'm listening to you and I'm thinking about my own situation, my own business failings and what happened with the pandemic with my business. And I'm like, yeah, I can relate and I can identify. And, wouldn't it be horrible to find out that maybe you made up that whole story, and it's like, oh, and it kind of breaks the relationship that you have with your audience. But, I think being relatable and telling your own personal story is magic for like YouTube growth and followers, because even like when we did our first show, just recently, we got a lot of people from that situation, but a lot of these people were, I would say, reflective of us. I mean, they were people who mentioned that they were either in jobs, businesses, and they were just trying to start their YouTube again, and they got dragged into this other situation. But, I think the rapport that we had on that live was really good, because it just seemed like these were people who were like listening to our tale and felt comfortable hearing our part of the story. So that drives engagement, that drives views, and that drives growth. If you can kind of like spin it into something that you can deliver consistently, which we're hoping to be able to do. So,
Agreed.
yeah. So, okay, so let's see. So we talked about creating drama as content, being like polarizing as content. So like taking like a very, strong stance, and to bring in people who support and people who don't support, telling your own personal story. I think when you were talking about starting in your car, like just starting any way possible, not having to like invest in some sort of like, super setup. Like, I mean, I'm on my laptop. I got like a little clip-on light here, but I think the information that we have is valuable, and we want to share it, and we want to learn too. Like, even we learn stuff when people come into the comments and they share their perspective. Mm-hmm. So that creates like a relationship, and that grows your channel and builds views and engagement. So yeah.
I ain't too old to learn something new.
That's right.
And
well, what?
Go ahead.
I was just saying, I remember we had talked earlier in the week. This is what I was thinking of, which had escaped me earlier. I think, what are their names? Saucy and
Saucy and Honey.
Saucy and Honey.
Saucy and Honey. I think
we can flip to the what not to do, maybe. Like maybe some
don't get arrested for YouTube.
Right. Some techniques you might want to avoid to build to become an overnight celebrity, because I think that's kind of what happened with them with that situation. Like, I mean, although they had been on YouTube for a while, they're trying. I would say clout chasing. They were definitely trying to be famous, and they did so. If do you want to share the story?
Oh, sure. Let's. So,
like
once upon a time, there were these two YouTube creators, that one male, one female, I assume, because nowadays you don't ask these questions.
Right.
And they, I believe, were in a romantic relationship. And they had like a vlog style type channel, as well as different funny skits type of thing. And I want to say, what was this, like, what, 2 years ago, maybe? I could be wrong.
Was it 2 years ago?
I think I'm feeling like
it was around the same time. Like, was it around 2019? It was definitely before the pandemic, I think.
Okay.
I think it was before the pandemic, because I don't know if they'd have gotten away with it
You're right about that, because I don't recall that they had on. I don't think they had on masks. So
I don't think they did either. Yeah.
Once upon a time, there was a particular YouTube type challenge of who can spend the night overnight in a Target and like a Walmart.
Right.
And these two people decided to actually do this, but they didn't. So what they did, they decided to go to their local Target,
which we're familiar with.
Which we're very familiar with, by the way.
Right.
And spend the night. Well, these two, I guess, got tired of being at Target. The store closed and everyone was out. So they decided to walk around Target, touch stuff, ha ha, he in the camera.
Yeah.
And then they decided to leave.
Yeah.
They neglected to read what it said on the door, which is that there was a silent alarm. So they left. The silent alarm goes off. No one's in the store. So guess what they're going to do? They're going to look at the surveillance cameras.
Yeah.
And who's all up in the video dancing?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
But then these people show up the next morning so they can film them waking up at the Target. Yes.
They return to the scene of the crime.
Exactly. So they trespassed twice.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So it was a whole big thing, especially where we live. And plus it made national news because
Yes.
of the disbelief. And of course, we done made a video to talk about it.
Yeah.
Not only that, I also made comments on their page.
Did you really?
On the video. Because I sure did, because I'm like, this was not worth spending time at Chester County Prison.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. So if they want to find it, yes, that was me.
Yeah.
What you did was not worth doing all of that.
Right.
Now, did they actually end up in handcuffs? I don't believe so.
No, I think they got charged because I went and looked them up afterwards. They got charged like $25,000 fine, I think.
Yeah, they got a very high fine, and I believe they both got like a year probation. When I went and checked it, I didn't see anything for confinement. And although
you went and checked it, okay.
Yeah, although they had other things, I'm not going to discuss that. A person can go look that up on their own.
Yeah,
because it's all public record. I did see what looked to be that they had an issue at one of their prior residences.
Oh, okay. I see.
But yeah.
Okay, so it was 2022. So it was after the pandemic. Okay. I stand corrected. Let's see. Okay, so they were charged with criminal trespassing in the 3rd degree. They were freed on a $25,000 unsecured bond and were banned from all Target stores in Pennsylvania.
Well, they can't go to Target
in Pennsylvania. They have to go to Delaware. They have to go to Maryland.
They can't go to Target. Oh, that's messed up.
Jersey, New York. So it doesn't say that they did any time or anything, but
yeah, I don't think they did time. I think they got like probation. Yeah. So, which honestly, I didn't think they were going to do time because I remember articles saying they're looking at 7 years, and I'm like, they're not getting 7 years.
Yeah, that'd have been funny.
I mean, please, we got people that sell dime bags. They only do 2 years. Like,
right?
They had a criminal trespass, but I mean, but to me, so they had to go through the whole process. They had to get a lawyer.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you're dealing with the internet fame.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, my first thing is, how am I going to tell my mama?
Yeah.
Forget all of y'all. I got to tell my mama that I did something stupid for the internet.
Stupid too, right? Yeah. Or did you have to have your mama come get you? Like, or somebody, I mean, yeah. Yeah, that's one way not to do it. Like for all the views that they probably got, I'm gonna just check and see how many views that video has.
Oh, they had a lot of views. That video's still up. Now I will say, because I was looking for this particular episode, not because I care. Mm-hmm. I said, let me see what's going on with them. Then I saw, these people done had a baby. Yes. So now your child 20 years from now, actually not even 10, they can just type in mom and daddy's name on the Googles, and now they can see everything that their parents did. Now, it might be a good conversation piece to say, mom and dad didn't make the best decision, so we don't want you to make better decisions. That's how I would frame it. However, now this child, because all it takes is one nasty, bitter homeroom mom to be like, I don't like her. Let me do a quick search. Did you know? And then all the moms at the school are going to know.
Yeah, it has 496,000 views. I thought it would have. Million. Yeah, unless they re-uploaded it or something. It says 24 overnight challenge in Target, and then caught, but it only comes up as 496.
I really thought it had over 1 million.
I thought it did too. I'm surprised. I don't know if it's worth. Let's see. This is 32,000. I'm wondering if this is a new channel and they just re-uploaded it. I don't know. But it has 10,000 likes and 496,000 views. So I don't know. To me, for that risk, I need at least $1 million.
To me, that's not worth it because you got court costs, you got to pay an attorney. That is so not worth it.
Yeah.
All that for views is
Yeah.
not worth it, in my opinion. Maybe you feel it's worth it.
Yeah.
You know, maybe they got some deals or brand deals or something like that. You know, if that's what makes you happy, go with God.
Right.
But there's no way that I'm going to do something that's going to possibly put me in handcuffs for some YouTube views.
Right.
Not on
And
purpose.
you got to consider too, like reputation damage, you know. So yeah, what's funny when you're 20, it's not necessarily funny when you're 40.
Exactly.
And just like you said, your kids, what kind of legacy do you leave for your children when their friends and, you know, their future partners and family can look you up and be like, oh my gosh, your parents are a bunch of idiots. Like what? So those are things to consider if you want to do something outrageous, risk, you know, something illegal for YouTube celebrity, but it's going to have its repercussions, you know. And there's a lot of people who've done dumb things and didn't get a lot of views. You know, I mean,
yeah. No, you're right. I've seen other videos. I remember during that time, and I'm like, oh, this is a thing. And I saw other videos where people were trying this. They're like, Walmart wouldn't let me stay the night. And I'm like, really? You tried that for a video? Like, it always cracks me up. Now, I will say this. I did have someone working with me at one point doing videos, like shooting me when I would go into a store. I will say, boy, was that so much easier. Anyway.
Yeah.
That was on my other channel. And but if you think about it, all right, you're walking into Target, so you're just going to start shooting because you're in Target. You're going to expose now I will say, I think they did a good job of not putting other people in their video, but I worry about stuff like that. Yeah. You know, I worry about who's in the background. I don't want a person, like, I remember I made a video one time and I ended up taking it down because I was like, oh my goodness, you could Google Earth this and see where I live.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Because
that's something to consider. Yeah. Which to me is something to consider because people are crazy. Now, I do have a sign in front of my house that says the property owner is part of the Fuck Around and Find Out Club.
I like that. Right?
No, that's that Generation X.
Yes. You have been warned.
Yeah.
You have been warned. Yeah.
Every time my mom sees the sign, she's just like, okay.
It's like, look, they've been put on notice. Yeah.
I'm just letting y'all know. Yeah. Don't try me, try Jesus.
Yeah.
Because he's going to save you.
So I'm thinking, like, that's a major one. I couldn't really find a lot of like what not to do other than like the illegal aspect of it, you know, blatant lying to like grow your views. I mean, we live in a world today where really you can get pretty easily found out. I mean, for whatever, I mean, anytime you make yourself a public person, and this is a risk, just like you said, you could Google Earth your house from the information from the video, you know, that's a risk, but you got to think about it too. You put your family in danger, you put yourself in danger, you put your property in danger if you're not careful with how you promote yourself. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Well, to piggyback on that, and of course, I hate to bring up her up again, but just as an example, with DoDash, with the person that I believe that was probably first to find her video, and I don't know who was first. I just know who had more views.
Right.
They had to do a little bit of research because one, we never put her name anywhere.
Right. Put her government
on
out.
Her, on the description, on her videos. We never put her name. We just put the name of the product. So someone had to go online, find her name, find that she owns the trademark, find that she owns the company, and get her name and see the name of the product, and then go back into YouTube and do the search for the name of the product.
Yep.
That's how they found our video.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
someone had time that day.
Yes. Yep. And it doesn't take much, you know? And so you got to think about this too. Like, how much do you want to share of yourself that might put you at risk? Because they're just like the person who commented, who left us a, you know, kind of a pseudo negative comment. You know, if there's crazy people out there, you never know who's on the other side of that screen. So if you're reaching for some sort of like celebrity or fame through YouTube, you open yourself up to that, to somebody who all of a sudden becomes enamored with the way that you look or the way that you sound or what you're talking about, or that has formed a parasocial relationship with you and they think they know you and want to show up to your house with some flowers and candy. You know, you open yourself up to that. So you want to kind of, you want to weigh how much of yourself you want to share, how much real, not I want to say real, but let's say authentic stuff that you want to share about yourself that's not going to put you in danger. You know, there's some of these, some of these million follower YouTubers, they live in gated communities. You know, they have security. So yeah, you're all up in their house. You know where they live. You can drive by and from outside the gate and see.
Yeah.
But that's a different level of fame and celebrity that they have protections. But I can probably count on both my hands stories where a crazed fan has, gotten a little too close, gotten inside of somebody's house, who is really obsessed. So that's one thing. You never know if your personal identity is going to take off, if people are going to really gel with you. And I think we've talked about that in prior shows, of like about people like we talked about Risa Tisa and I'm trying to think of some other people. Oh, the lady who says, everybody's so creative. Just regular folk. They don't know when they're coining phrases and doing things that their content is going to take off.
Yeah, you don't know if you're going to pop.
You don't know if you're going to pop. Yeah.
So because you don't know if you're going to pop, you got to really think about that. Okay, if I pop, this is what I need to secure.
Right. Yep. Yeah. And you need to think about, like, have a strategy and a plan. I think if you're going to do a YouTube channel with the intent to maybe not become a celebrity, I use that because I was thinking of that Twister song. I was thinking, make you a celebrity. Oh, I was playing in my head, right?
So that's where that came from.
That's where it came from.
You was in there listening to Twister. Okay. Okay.
I was thinking about that song and I said, oh, that'd be a great title. And I'm thinking, I think a lot of us, I think my goal for us, like us doing this, I like the connection. I like our conversations. I want to connect with other people. I'm not looking to be famous from this. If it happens, I'm okay with it. Don't get me wrong.
Oh, yeah. But he does give keynote speeches.
That's right. That's right. Okay. Right. There is a PO box set up that you can send stuff to anytime you want.
So does Nikki. Okay. We have lots of things that we could talk about. I am a Toastmaster.
There you go.
Actually,
there you go.
Where's my, look at this. I don't even think I even told you about. Well, you probably saw this on. This is what I got.
Oh,
no, this is when I won for my division, the evaluation contest.
Oh, shucks! Look at that.
Yeah. So
is that in first place?
Yes, ma'am. I was in my division. In my division.
Yes.
Yes. Look at God. Anyway.
Yes.
Just to explain what that means, evaluation. So someone gives a speech and the contestants have to give evaluation. You only have 3.5 minutes. You have to do it at least 2 minutes.
Yeah.
So you really only have 2 to 3 minutes because as soon as you go over 30, go to 31, you're disqualified.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So
you really got to be on point with your time. Wow.
Yeah. So to get to the division, I had to win my area first, and then I got my division. Now, I did not win my district. And honestly, I was fine with that because I knew in the middle of what I was doing that this one was not going to work. Like I was and I think part of it was because I was on a larger stage.
Yeah.
I had way more eyes on me. And I can tell you my number one problem, I couldn't find my light. Because we have a light system that lets you know. So once you hit to green, you've been on long enough. Yellow says you need to wrap it up pretty much. And then red, you got 30 seconds.
Okay.
Couldn't find the light. Because I was trying to talk to everyone in the room like this. Yeah. And I couldn't find the light. And I thought the light was here, but it was literally over here. And I let that mess me up.
Yeah. Now, how many people were in the room that you were speaking to?
It was probably about 200 or 300.
Wow. See, I would have been nervous. I would have froze. I would have been like, I got tongue tied. Yeah. That's a big deal. Yeah. Yeah. But you learned how to do that in Toastmasters, right? How to deal with crowds and
how to deal with crowds.
Yeah.
Because some people think you just go to a meetings. They actually have here I am doing a Toastmasters commercial, but they have education. And the reason why I liked it, well, I put it this way: the reason why I first went to Toastmaster is because I was starting my YouTube journey, and when I would rewatch my videos, I noticed that I would repeat the same thing like 3 to 4 times.
Okay.
I didn't feel that by watching me that I had the structure that was needed.
Yeah.
Because even though I would maybe write down what I was going to say, when that red light came on, I didn't follow it.
Okay.
So that's the reason why I even started with Toastmasters, because I wanted to get some professional help, but not pay like a professional price. And I could have went to like a communications class at like the local, like, what do you call this? Junior college. But I also didn't want to be in a class with people that just graduated high school.
Right.
So I remember being told about Toastmasters many, many years ago at another job, but I didn't go for it because at that point I was a single mom. I had no time to do any of that. And I said, well, I remember something about Toastmasters. Let me look it up real quick. Saw some YouTube videos, by the way, and said, yes, that's what I want to do. Contacted my local Toastmasters club and was invited to one of their meetings, showed up. And I've been in Toastmasters for, I'm going on my 5th year. So.
Wow. Yeah.
And one of the things that I like is, yeah, go ahead.
Oh, no, I was saying that you went and sought out professional development, personal development. Once you decided you were going to start your YouTube channel, you then saw areas that you wanted to improve, and then you went out and got the education that you felt would make you feel more comfortable as a YouTuber. And see, that's gold right there. You know, that's more so than some of these like tactics of like these growth hacking tactics of like, oh, you know, post daily, do this, do that. That's like, not only is that going to help you with YouTube, but that's going to help you through anything that you do.
Exactly. Because one of the many things that I do at work is I train. I train in my subject matter. So I have to, and I feel like this, I'm always on.
Yeah.
Always on. Because when I say train, I don't just mean train employees. I also go out into the community and I put on seminars for the community. So I have to always be on. And that's something that you do learn in Toastmasters. There is a portion of every meeting that is called table topics. And you have to speak for at least 1 minute to 2 minutes.
Okay.
And you could be thrown any question.
Oh, wow. And you just kind of have to speak off the cuff.
Off the cuff.
Wow.
And it could be any type of thing. This particular week, when I went to my Toastmasters club, I volunteered. I always try to volunteer for the table topics because to me, that's the only way you're going to develop. So
Yeah.
and as far as I'm concerned, I'm paying for this. So
Yeah.
I want all my money's worth. So I'm
Yes,
going
I
to
hear that.
participate in every Toastmasters club because I
Right.
want all my money's worth. Okay. It's
Mhm.
$60 every 6 months. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Which
That's
is
really
actually,
affordable too.
thank you. Yes. It's
Yeah.
$60 every. Now it could cost a little bit more for some people according to your club, because some
Mhm.
clubs add in fees for other things. Like they may have to pay for where they meet, things like
Mhm.
that. My club right now, we don't do that. They may pay for um, different things that they want the club to have, or they might pay
Okay.
for food. They may pay for prizes, because some clubs, they may have like the best table topics and they might win a ribbon or something like that. So
Mhm.
every club is a little bit different. But for me, with the way that I like to do, especially like my table topics, this week, someone started out a story with
Okay.
one sentence, and you had to go with the rest of the
Yeah.
story. Then we all had to follow the story. It was
Okay.
kind of crazy. So I'll tell you what mine was. The sentence was, I was walking past the house and this little girl was looking at me through the window.
Hmm.
So I said, I walked past this house and I was just minding my own business. And I looked to my right and I see a little girl smiling at me through the window.
Mhm.
I kept on walking, because that is how thrillers starts to happen. Those are those
Right.
types of movies. This seems like the best opening scene of a horror film.
Right.
Tiffany doesn't like to be involved in such things. So I
Right.
minded my business and
Mhm.
kept it moving.
Right.
Now, if you want to go up and see what's going on with that little girl, that's up to you.
Mhm.
But as for me, I'm going to keep it moving. She's
Right.
inside
She's
the house.
smiling. She's okay.
She don't look hurt. Oh, I know. It could have been a ghost. We're going to keep it moving.
Yes. Mhm.
And I
Not
added to that.
today, Satan, right? That's right.
Exactly.
It's
I
like,
added to that. And I was like,
yes.
oh, yeah. And the lady that was in charge of it for that evening, she was like, that was a take I had no idea anyone would take. Because in my experience, I minds my business.
Right. Right.
So, but
Mhm.
I say all that to say this, if you are going down that journey of, I want to make sure that my presentation skills are better. Of course, like I'm talking, of course, about Toastmasters. You don't have to 100% take that.
Right.
There are videos, by the way, on
Mhm.
YouTube
On
that will help
YouTube.
you
Yeah.
with that.
Yes.
And there are actually former winners of the Toastmaster International
Mhm.
speech contest that have channels that talk about the best way to present, and they are really talking about the same principles that they learned in Toastmasters.
Okay. Yeah. And
They're
that's all accessible for free.
for free.
Yeah. Because I definitely, I mean, I look at my demeanor in the videos sometimes and I'm like, stop moving. It's just I'm like, stop twisting in your chair. Stop it. And I'll look at, and critique myself like, oh, or I know when I was doing like my podcast, like my audio podcast, I was like sucking my I was doing that a lot, and I had an phase too, or yeah, so it is, and you don't realize until you go back and listen or watch how annoying it is to a viewer's perspective. It's like, oh my gosh, I'm annoyed watching myself. I'm
Mhm.
annoyed listening to myself, and those are things to fix, but those things can make the difference too in your views and your growth of your channel. Because if your personal ticks and eccentricities or just habits, bad habits, we'll say, are pushing people away, nobody, oh, I can't stand watching her because she's always sucking her teeth, or she's always, twiddling her hair, or she's always, whatever. Like it just I've done that too. I've clicked off of people where I'm like, okay, I can't stand your voice. I'm sorry. What you might say is valuable, but I can't stand it. I'm moving on. And it's like some of the things, it's not like it's their personality. It's just like, have you watched yourself? You know, that kind of thing. So
Yeah.
I definitely can see the value in that, you know, especially with starting a YouTube channel.
Yeah, give yourself some self-critique.
Mm-hmm.
Now, we're not saying beat yourself up,
Right.
because I don't, I'm not looking to say, oh, when I saw what was happening with myself, I didn't really beat myself up. I said, I know I can change
Right.
that. I just need assistance in learning how I can do that.
Mm-hmm.
Look at it, from the perspective of a viewer and say, I don't know how that looks, so I don't like how that sounded. Okay, note it when I'm on camera, not due to X, Y, and Z. Stop doing this. Stop doing this. I remember I watched a video one time and I watched a person dig up in their nose.
Oh gosh, they totally didn't even realize.
Didn't even realize it. They didn't realize it. And what always happens is I'm like this. Because of course, when you're on camera, that's when your nose starts to itch, right?
Yeah.
It never fails. Your nose starts to itch. So I'm always trying to make sure I do it like this, so that it don't look like I'm going like this, because I saw that in someone else's video.
Yes. Yeah. Because I think sometimes we take it for granted. Like when we see our polished YouTubers, when we see how professional they are, I think we take it for granted, especially if they're really down to earth personalities. But they have probably had some sort of media training, some sort of like diction, and they after they've gotten larger, you can even see their development. If you follow somebody long enough, you can see their personal development. It's like, oh wow, she stopped doing that. Oh, he doesn't do that. That's really cool. You can see their growth if they stick at it long enough, which means that sometimes you can't become a celebrity overnight. That's not how it works. I
don't think that's how you really want it to work.
Yeah.
Of course, it sounds great to be a celebrity or to be infamous, but do you really want it like that overnight? Because it's normally because of something that is extra traumatic.
Right.
There's probably not something positive spin on it. Do you really want to be an overnight celebrity?
Right. Right. Yeah. And for as many times as it happens where somebody's content goes viral, a lot of times they can't do the same thing twice.
That part. Well, and that seems to be another issue for like YouTube comedians versus stand-up comedians. So I like, I talk about Kev on stage because I actually do like him. I like what he represents. And he has talked about how there was times that he couldn't get bookings because they thought he was just a YouTube funny person, not realizing he was just doing that to try and supplement.
Right.
He really was a stand-up comedian, but there were some people they're funny on YouTube, but when they got on that stage and on that mic, it didn't translate.
Well, a popular one that just came back up in my feed, Matt Rife. Do you remember him? He's he's real good looking guy. Yes.
I've seen him. Okay.
He's a good looking guy. And I had seen him on TikTok. That's how I didn't know he was on Wild and Out or anything, but because I was introduced to him from his TikToks. And then he got his Netflix special, which didn't do so well because he wasn't able to properly translate his humor from TikTok to a stage of being a stand-up comedian.
Mainly his thing is more crowd work.
Right, crowd work, and he can edit that. Everything that he put up on TikTok was stuff that was edited, so you can edit out the low periods or when nobody's getting laughs, and you can put in your greatest hits. Versus if you're in front of a stage and you have to perform even though he's a stand-up comedian and he had it didn't translate well. His Netflix special didn't translate, and I think he's basically taken about a year off, and now he's got like blonde hair. And he's on tour again, and I bet you he's changed some things up. I think he probably took that year off and probably changed up some things.
Well,
So
I think the thing with him, see, it looks like he was like an overnight celebrity. That's not
it
really not
does,
the case.
right?
It just so happens that he blew up on TikTok. TikTok was the perfect forum for him
Mm-hmm.
because what did TikTok used to be? 15 seconds, 10 seconds?
Something like that. Yeah, you
Something
can
like
only
that. And
do
then it went to
it.
like 30.
Mm-hmm.
That's perfect for the punchline of a joke.
Mm-hmm.
That's completely perfect. That's a great amount of time for a
Yeah.
punchline of a joke. There were definitely funny moments between him and the crowd. One
Yes.
thing I guess you can say, he's an equal opportunity offender.
Yes. Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, so regardless. And what's funny, some people I guess didn't like him in the I don't know if the right term is probably like the disabled community.
Right. Yeah.
It's but I ain't gonna lie, he had a couple funny jokes.
Yeah. He's a funny guy. I
You
mean,
know, he
I
had a couple funny jokes.
he's
I like
like
the one he made
he's
about autism. I really
what
did.
about autism?
I was
You mean what about autism?
okay,
What?
so
Oh
this
goodness.
woman,
I might have
he's
missed
doing
that
crowd
one.
work. He was doing crowd
Yeah.
work, right? And the woman was like, "What?" He was like, "What do you do?" And she was like, "Yeah, I have a kid. He's autistic." And she was talking about what he likes to do, and he was like, "That's awesome. He's going to be a millionaire. Good job, mom." Because she was talking about like her son has social issues, but
Yeah.
he's like a math whiz.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Oh, your son's going places." And
Oh goodness.
I will say, as a mom that's dealt with special needs, it's
Mm-hmm.
kind of nice to hear someone say something positive
Yeah.
about being part of the special needs community. He's like, "Oh,
Yeah.
you're he's going to kill it, mom. Like he's going to make so much money."
Right.
you
But
know,
then there was the other 50% who were offended by that.
exactly. Like, but
Yeah.
I kind of
Okay.
liked that spin that he kind of took.
Yeah.
He was like, awesome. Oh, he's
Yeah.
gonna make lots of money. Because I think what she said was like he gets hyper focused on one thing.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, so like if he got hyper focused on coding,
Yeah.
he got like
Yeah.
something like that, and he's like, "Oh, that's so
Mhm.
awesome!" Like he
Yeah.
was like, "That's good for you." Like the way that he did it was just the way it
Mhm.
came off. It was because you didn't expect that from him. Because
Right.
sometimes there are people that are like physically handicapped that come to
Mhm.
his show because they want to be roasted.
Because they want to be roasted. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
It's like they
And
get to come up front.
yeah. Yeah. Well, there's I mean, there's a whole thought process with that too. It's like equal, like you said, equal opportunity offender. It's like it's true, like inclusion is being able to take what everybody else takes. Like when you're roasting somebody, you're making fun of some sort of characteristic about them. Because usually it's like a physical characteristic, or maybe you're doing the question game and you're asking them questions, and then you're making fun of one of their answers or how they answered, or but if you totally ignore a person with a disability just because they have a disability, then that makes them feel excluded too. Unless, I mean, because they could always be like, yeah, I'm not interested in, I don't want to, no thanks, all that. But you never know that people with disabilities have senses of humor as well. So
That is
so
true. That is
but
so
yeah,
true.
but I think it kind of brings it back around to the whole fact that, you know, some people appear to be overnight celebrities, like you said, and they really have put in a lot of time and energy to build a brand, to build an image, to work on their craft, to get educated, to fix things. Like even his physical, like he's had plastic surgery. I mean, he's done a lot to, I mean, he was a good looking guy
I
anyway,
don't
but
think
he
he
did a
needed
lot.
that. He didn't
I
need
don't think,
any.
yeah, I didn't think he needed it either, but
I don't
he
think he
thought he
needs
did.
any. I
Yeah.
don't know, something about Holly weird. Like it
Mm-hmm.
makes people that are have natural beauty feel like they're ugly. I don't know what it is.
Yes, yes. And that's one thing too, like I like about some creators who don't really change. Like they might, okay, you can tell money now, so like, their clothes are a little better and, you know, they get their teeth fixed or whatever. So it's different things like that, but they don't really change. Like they don't do a 360 and all of a sudden you're like, is that who I think it is?
Right.
You know,
Like,
after
we don't see
years of
Tasha K
being
doing skin lightening.
no. And even her body shape, like she's still who I mean, she doesn't look that much different than she did when she first came out. She's
Yeah.
still like real. She's a real person. You know?
One of her
and she'll be talking about when she's bloated.
Yeah. Well, that's one of her audios is like on TikTok, and it's her with I think her former assistant, and the girl was like, "You gotta suck your stomach in." She was like, "Nah, real body's coming back. real stomach's coming back." And I want to say, I could be wrong on who the person is. I think Selena Gomez did a video of her. She was like sunbathing or something in a swimsuit, and she used that audio.
Did she? Like, oh, that's cute. Yes. Okay.
And I could be wrong if it was. It may not have been Selena Gomez, but I want to say it was, because I think people have talked about her because she like put some weight on.
Yes. So, yeah. She's always getting picked apart. It's a shame.
Yeah. Those poor Disney kids.
But you know, it's those poor. Yes, that's a whole other.
Other conversation.
They're pretty much molded. Yeah, it is a whole other conversation. We'll talk about it one day, because, like, yeah, it's an interesting phenomenon, and there's conspiracies there too. It's like, you know, with Britney Spears and that whole, like, I don't even think that woman even exists anymore, unfortunately. Like, you know, they say she's come out. I don't know. It's kind of, yeah. I went to a deep dive, I think a year ago, where I was like watching all this content about, is Britney AI, and like are her videos really her, or are they people that stand it? Oh yeah, people have some compelling arguments to say that she's not, you know, she's not actually with us any longer. Maybe she's living somewhere totally out of the limelight, and there's people that are, I wouldn't say clones, for lack of a better word, you know. So it's interesting. Yes, yeah, to some degree, yeah. And then they can make money off of her. Like the last song that she did with will.i.am was recorded separately. They didn't meet to record that song, and he was the only one who was doing promotions. Everything that she was promoting and marketing was virtual. So there's some weird things, like, you know, you see Madonna's out here at like 60, 70 years old, shaking it, dropping it like it's hot. Why isn't Britney? It's like the same caliber of performer, you know? Not Madonna should.
No, nobody asked for that.
But I'm always shocked. I said, will somebody let that woman retire, please? When I see her old behind get up there, I'm like, I give you props for keeping it going, but let that woman retire. But people are still making money off of her, you know? So who knows?
Wow.
Well, should we wrap up?
Yeah, I think so. I think that's pretty good for tonight. We definitely have to talk about this Sister Wives thing. Because
we'll talk about that behind the scenes and come up with. We might have to set up a whole new like persona for that, because you
may have to.
Right, because I got some things to say about Sister Wives, but we're gonna do our challenge. So like we're gonna I think so next week maybe what we could do is show our stats, show our modest analytics. And then,
what day do we want to do that on? Because Thursday's Thanksgiving.
Oh gosh, you're right. Thursday is Thanksgiving. Good Lord. So do we want to?
Do you want to take a week off?
Let's take a week. Yeah, let's do that. We'll take a week off and get our stuff together, and then we'll come back the week after. We could do that, and then we'll show our stats.
Yeah, I think that'd be good. Yep. Follow the community, and then during that time period, you can because you've been doing a really good job of doing the promotion. So we could do some ads and shorts add
Yeah.
some
Oh yeah.
uh,
I'll be working on
add some more
t-shirts.
stuff
Yeah.
on TikTok, on the Tickety Talks and
Oh yeah.
Instagram and all
I
that stuff.
You know, I meant to do that this week, but I had misplaced our passwords and stuff. But I found them. I'm good now. I'm good now.
Okay, good.
I actually found them today, and I said they were here this whole time. I was so mad at myself, but I got them now. So
Okay,
we're
good.
gonna put the TikTok down
Okay,
and Instagram. Yeah.
I
So,
love that.
but you can find us on Facebook.
Sure can. Where the old people are. You can always find us on
That's
Facebook.
right.
The old people, that's where they are.
We're on Facebook.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Well, guys,
But
we want to thank you for coming
use
in,
these techniques and show our growth.
Yes. So watch us and grow with us, grow yourself, and we'll talk with you guys the next time. Thank you so much. You have any closing words, Nikki?
I do not. Be yourself. Everyone else is taken. I don't know.
I love that.
So you like
I
that?
love
Okay.
that. That's the perfect way to end.
Yeah.
All right, guys.
Mm-hmm.
Bye.
Bye-bye.